to part 2 of the video of Salesforce Platform Developer 1 Lesson 2. In the second part, I'm going to explain a bit about real-world scenarios, how to determine appropriate data model, and a couple of coding examples of how to access the data model on the from epics, from formula fields, from templates and configurational other methods. So let us quickly jump on to the slide.
Okay, so here we have a particular client. They have a problem. They are pretty new to Salesforce and they are using a web portal, WordPress based or any website, and need to configure Salesforce to manage their website visitors. A new or regular visitor of their site does few purchasing and may expect reasonable discounts based on their past purchases. So there are a couple of key things. First of all, there are website visitors. They are purchasing products. So products, visitors, obviously you can relate them to accounts. Products are products. They are purchasing a couple of times several different products. That means they are having deals. So if I try to understand whenever a visitor visits their website, they can be tracked down by leads. Lead have its own life cycle. Okay, they will purchase something, they will get converted into an account and an opportunity, a set of contacts. This perfectly fits, the entire scenario perfectly fits in the Salesforce CRM. I don't think there needs to be creation of any new object. It's perfectly fit in our scenario. So that is our solution. Now next problem. Manufacturing industry-based company. They want its entire business process of diamonds, buy, processing, branding, and selling to be incorporated in Salesforce itself. Now Salesforce products seems to be a standard object which fits the scenario, but the actual problem is in coming days companies are also planning to invest in jewelry selling. So initially diamonds, they are also trying to expand their business in jewelry. Now what Salesforce features should be used to correctly solve this problem? Just think. So in a process, if we try to see, they have diamonds, rough diamonds, they are picked, they are polished, they are flown to different parts of the world, India, Surat, they are polished over here, and then they are taken back as a product, they are sold in the market. So it has its own life cycle. Its own life cycle simply means pick list, diamonds life cycle. In product, all we need to do is create a pick list, a process, a stage, and whenever it is ready, polished, it is ready to be sold. It is ready to be added to a price book. It is ready to be added to a opportunity line item and make a deal. The second problem obviously comes in with jewelry. The company wants to expand itself, wants to get into jewelry. In the same way, they want to have added them into price books as they were doing it via diamonds. Think of a solution. Now, a solution, what I think would be perfect is record types. We have a very awesome feature in Salesforce, record types. You can create record types for the same object. In product itself, we can create one record type for diamonds and another record type for jewelry. That is going to solve the problem. I hope the problem and the solution made some sense, and let's jump on to another interesting problem, a very important one. Okay, here we have Rapid Advanced. Financing and business consulting domain possesses a viable business concept with aspiration of increased growth. Basically, it connects entrepreneurs with credit solutions. It's all about financing. And the key is the details. Now, the problem is not that we need to build it from scratch. The problem is that we already have a solution. Someone has already developed it in Salesforce, but not in the right way. And this is also going to be one of the challenges which you will face in Salesforce as a career. You won't be blessed with a project to work right from scratch. You will all, most of the time, like in my experience, 8 out of 10 times you will get a project which has already been worked upon by someone. They created some mess, you will have to clean it. So the mess in Rapid Advance is it has a poor database model. Opportunity initially had more than 1500 fields. Can you imagine 1500 fields? Salesforce has a limit on to that, around 800. They especially got Salesforce, called them up, they increased that fields. Salesforce increased it. Client was saving all the client information under opportunities, under underwriting tables and other objects, until surprisingly the data structure overflowed. Governor limits. Now you can't increase more fields. There is obviously data redundancy. There are a couple of fields, you don't know why they are created, probably having duplicate values, probably having no values at all. So this is a problem, and you need to redesign it. You need to redesign the entire data model. In the next slide, I'm going to discuss how to solve this problem. Okay, so we have seen the problem. Now let me give you step-by-step strategy of how to solve the problem of data model, basically redesigning. The very first step you should take is take backup of the object fields records before planning to redesign the data model. Now backup, I mean to say two types of backup. Backup of the actual records and backup of the entire data model. Data model can be taken backed up via metadata, which I am going to explain you further down the course. And the records can be easily taken down via data loader tool, which I hope you might have already used so far, Salesforce data loader tool. You can take a backup in CSV files, store it on your desktop. The second step should be, in this particular problem, differentiate all the fields and classify them into separate essential objects. Now imagine I have 1500 fields created in opportunity. They need to be some common fields, right? 50 fields common to each other, another 50 fields or 100 fields common to each other. In the same way, we try to analyze which all fields are common to each other and group them into different sections. Can we create a separate object for that? If yes, let's mark them. Let's keep them in different objects and analyze. The third step should be remove the duplicate fields and sections. Removing the duplicate fields and sections are pretty much important. Utilize the record type features. Again, I did explain this in the previous problem. Using the record type feature will help a lot. Okay, like notes, there can be different type of notes, and the client was storing those notes in opportunity as a field, as a rich text area field. Instead of doing that, you can have a separate object for that, create multiple notes, and link them with the opportunity. We also need to be very careful and see whether a couple of fields can be calculated via formula itself, like first name plus last name is the entire name. Why to store another name? You can simply create a formula field for first name and last name. So all the DM marked steps are for data model, CC are for configuration steps, and obviously UI for user interface. Applying validation rules on various form is also going to restrict a lot of fields, a lot of records, getting created with different wrong values. At the end of the day, we were able to create a couple of objects from the opportunity 1500 records, and that was reduced drastically from 1500 fields to somewhere around 600 fields, and all the other fields were either converted into an object, were discarded, were not being used. We were storing the correct value in contact, notes, transactions, we created another object, QN section, we created another object, address, we created another object, and in order we redesigned the data model. Once the data model was redesigned, we took the brave step of uploading the data again into the respective objects. Benefits. Now benefits, obviously there were a lot of benefits. Once you have the right set of information, you need to do your business. Obviously your business will grow, right? So loan closing number of pays jump to 30% in 6 months and blah blah. I hope you like this session.
So in this particular slide, I'm going to explain about the data model and its impact on various parts of Salesforce, like Apex, formula fields, test classes, Visual Force pages, etc. So, and how we can programmatically access and utilize the object schema. We may face a situation in which we may create a data model and we will have to use it in different ways. So data model created in the backend, it's just a database. So in order to access the database in a robust manner, we will be creating a lot of formula fields, templates, Visual Force pages, Apex, API callouts. So there, from the database, there will be a lot of different ways by which the values and tables can be accessed. So the very first one is formula field filters. So let me quickly go ahead and show you. So in our last example, we created a bug and a project. So a bug being a child to the project, and while doing that, we created this relationship of master detail. Now what I'm trying to achieve is, on the bug itself, I'll be creating a formula field to get the project owner's manager field. So I'll check this user. So this is schema diagram, and you can see that a bug has a parent as project and it has a lookup as user, and a user is also having a self lookup from user to user. So we'll be utilizing that and creating a formula field. So let me quickly go to the custom object bug, and I'll click on new. I'll create a formula field and I'll do next. And in this particular page, you can see that it's asking me the name. So let me write project manager name, and let this be a text field because I'm going to store just the username. And we have two options, like a simple formula field, and we can also do advanced formula field. So I'll do an advanced formula field, and I'll try to bring up the manager project user manager name. So I'll click on insert field, and you can see it gives me a pretty well defined hierarchy. This is a very useful way to actually access all the related lookups or the master detail parent chains. So you can see I've clicked on bug, and then I clicked on the project parent, and on the project I clicked on created by, or let me use owner, and under owner I have manager. Again, this is a self lookup as I explained in the schema diagram. So user to user, okay, and under manager I'll be just fetching the username and I'll be clicking on insert. So you can see that the project is a custom relationships, that's why it is coming as __ r, then the owner user dot manager dot username. It's straightforward. I'll click on next and I'll try to save it and make it visible on all the pages. And if I go to the bugs tab and I click on any of the bugs, UI testing, so you can see that the project manager is coming Akshay. So this is the project manager for the project test, owner AJ, and AJ's manager. So if I go to the user, you can see that it's having Akshay as its manager. You can see. So this is how we have a relationship. Now let me quickly show you how we can use it on a coding level.
Create lookup and access them. Okay, so this is an exercise which will be following side by side on Salesforce as well, and we will try to create lookup. Before we do that, let me explain from what we have right now, which is Salesforce standard default CRM data model. The opportunity is already having a lookup to account, and account is already having a lookup to a user as an owner. On opportunity, it is known as account. On account, it is known as user or owner. Now, in order to access this, we have create lookup and access them. Okay, so this is an exercise which will be following side by side on Salesforce as well, and we will try it forward way by the help of dot operators. So in this small piece of code which I would like you all to run to execute in your own dev org or the dev org provided to you. So let me explain the code step by step. So the first part, the first line is nothing but an opportunity. We are making a query. We are being very careful. We are marking a limit of 1 because it might return a list if we are doing a query to the database, but in this case it will always return a 1 record. Under the query we are writing select name, comma, account name, comma, account owner name from opportunity. So this query is running on the opportunity object. We are trying to pull out a couple of fields, is the account, owner, and its name, and I have put in a where clause straight result. I'm trying to debug it. So you can see in the debug itself, to print the values, I'm using again the same dot operator. So opportunity record dot name, opportunity record dot account dot name, opportunity record dot account dot owner dot name. So what we understand is by help of the dot operator, and just be careful enough to query those fields. Okay, it may happen and it will happen with you all guys. In this particular slide, I'm going to give you another example, but this time instead of drilling upwards, we'll try to drill down. By drill down, I mean to say we'll have to have the related list. We'll need to understand how we will be getting those values, processing those values from the related list from the child objects. So in this particular example, again I am using the standard Salesforce CRM data model, account and cases. A case is having a lookup of account. So that simply means that a case, multiple cases will be associated with a particular account. In the terms of programming world, in SQL, we'll be using the query mentioned. So you can see in this particular slide, in SQL, we'll be using the query mentioned. So you can see I've written account ACC, the variable name, equal to then my SQL query. In my SQL query, you can see select 2 times. It simply means in the bracket, it simply means a nested query in itself. So select name, comma, select case number, comma, subject from cases. So I'm going to select all the cases from the account object where the account name, so it is going to give me first of all the account itself, and then a list of all the cases which are associated with that particular account. In the debug, you can see that I am able to print the account name acc.name, and to process that list I am using a for loop, a for each loop. People with the Java background might easily understand it. For case, cc is my variable name, colon acc.cases. So it is going to return me a list, and I'm going to iterate that list one by one. And so in this particular example, I'll try to explain the difference between a lookup and a junction object from a very standard point, which I have explained already, but in this time I'm going to explain it a bit in more detail. So we have account, opportunity, and price book. Opportunity is already having a lookup of account. Account can be any business account, a person account with all its details, company name, phone, addresses, all those field information under that particular object. Opportunity, being a deal, have its own life cycle. So whenever we say an opportunity, you need to imagine its own life cycle. By default, it starts with negotiation, then to prospecting, and so on until it is closed, won, or lost. Every business can have their own customized opportunity life cycle with different stages. Obviously, Salesforce sales revolves around this opportunity with products and price books. How a product is related to a price book is a key concept, and the key concept lies obviously in junction object. Junction object with 2 lookups to 2 different objects help them to establish many-to-many relationship, and that is the key. And in this case, it is known as opportunity line items. More or less the same thing happens with a price book. How a price book is related to a product. A particular product might have 2 different prices for 2 different regions, for 2 different seasons, for 2 different events, which is more or less the price book. Events, seasons, zones, countries, and those all are being tracked down in price book via help of junction object, and this junction object is known as price book entry. And in Salesforce schema diagram, this is how it looks. So you can see the opportunity line item, product, price book entry, how all those things are related. I hope this particular example, especially the Salesforce standard one, might have explained you, might have cleared all your concepts related to lookup and master detail relationship. Further, I'll be giving you another demo in which
I hope you liked the video and the examples which I gave, obviously creating master detail, lookup and everything. It will be great if you go through certain exercises, because only theoretical knowledge won't help in certification exams or in your career. You should always have practical knowledge of how to create data model and different fields, how to access them. Go through the exercise from the website, in which you can learn more in depth about how to use them. And I'll be creating further on more videos on the next tutorial topic, which I'm following right now from the Salesforce standard certification syllabus. So keep waiting. I'll be posting new videos, and do contact me if you need any help or any suggestion about your career or any of the project. Thank you.